All right, happy Monday night. It is October 11th, and I am just finally settling in for some King's Quest. So, there we go. All right, set up some hotkeys that actually worked. It's a wonderful thing. I meant to stream this like 2 hours ago. It would be a welcome change if OBS would ever one of these days work without me having to go through and change a bunch of settings every time. Um, so last week game capture was working, and now this week I'm having to do display capture. And I'm sure next week when I try this, it will have to be Windows capture because it's never the same thing twice. Oh my gosh. Um, and also last week, something in the background was like bricking my machine. So I was rewatching some of the recording, and it was just awful. It was a real mess. So hopefully we don't get any of that tonight. It should be nice and smooth. That's what we're going for here. The machine can handle it. There's no reason it shouldn't be nice and smooth. So here, with that in mind, here we go. We last left off. We had defeated the Cliffs of Logic. We'd made it to the top of the cliff, and we were approached by an old lady who offered us bushes from a berry. She definitely did not have a portrait, which means it's the genie, and we don't want to do anything she says.
The old woman has a pleasant, grandmotherly face, but something about her makes Alexander uneasy.
Come, stranger, trust me. Think of what I'm offering you.
Yeah, she told me the berries would give me the power of flight, which,
But who are you, matron?
Who cares? I mean, I am only a poor old woman who wishes you well, handsome stranger. Think of me as your grandmama, if you like. Young man, you offend me. I try to help you and you insist on being rude.
The huge doors are locked tight. Somebody obviously wants to keep something out or something in.
ooh, something in.
All right then, stay tied to the ground like a load of lead. See if I care. You human.
How odd. The old woman just disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Perhaps those berries are even more powerful than she led Alexander to believe.
Come on, narrator, put it together. This is like the fourth time a golden-eyed weirdo has puffed
Alexander
into smoke.
crawls through the small opening in the rock.
I believe in you. You can figure this one out.
Alexander finds himself in a dark cave.
Boy, if only I had something that could make light.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it. Alexander crawls through the opening in the rock. The lighting in this part of the cave is better. Alexander extinguishes the candle's flame and places it back in his pack. A natural window-like opening in the rock provides a view to the outside world. A peppermint plant grows on the window's ledge.
Peppermint. We know that the genie likes peppermint, because in all of his various disguises, he keeps trying to get mints from the shopkeeper.
Alexander takes a few leaves from the plant. As he does so, a strong smell of peppermint is released. Ah!
Ah, I love that. I actually have some chocolate peppermint bars here. This is not product placement, they just happen to be close, but I love these Think bars for a little snack. They have a little more sugar in them than some of the other ones that I like, but they're tasty, so that's all I can.
Alexander crawls back into the first room of the cave.
Yes.
Alexander can't see a thing.
It's too dark.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Yes, he does. All right, back out. Try not to eat any of the poison nightshade berries. Back out the way we go.
Alexander crawls back through the passage to the top of the cliffs.
There we go. All right. Well, let's see. Got our mint. Let's go meet some winged ones.
Look, an intruder! Hold! How did you get up here, human?
I climbed the cliffs.
That is not possible. No one has solved the cliffs of logic in several centuries. And if the cliffs were to be solved, it would certainly not be by a human.
I didn't mean to trespass. I only wanted to visit this beautiful island.
No visitors have been welcome on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain in years. Not since the Red and White Queens had spies in the guise of friendly visitors steal our island's sacred golden fleece.
Another one of the missing things.
Again. You will have to answer to Lord Azure and Lady Ariel. They will determine what will be done with you. I can assure you, it will not be pleasant.
Another one of the missing things causing the feud between the islands. The golden fleece is missing.
With what trickery did you master the cliffs of logic and reach the city of the winged ones?
Only the magic of clear thought, my lord. I meant no harm.
The cliffs of logic. It is the sacred oracle's prophecy, Azure.
Yes, Ariel.
They're not really
it is
logic
lucky for
cliffs.
you, human, that climbing the cliffs of logic is part of a prophecy that I cannot ignore. We have just been ordered by Wazir Al-Hazred himself to dispose of any strangers that might land on our fair isle. But the prophecy would have a different fate befall you.
The prophecy predicts that whosoever climbs the cliffs of logic will defeat the Minotaur. The Minotaur has violated our sacred catacombs and eats our young in sacrifice. Our own daughter, Lady Celeste, was taken there only this morning as his most recently demanded offering.
A dilemma, then. Whom shall I obey in regards to your fate, the oracle or the crown? But since Al-Hazred did not dictate how I was to dispose of intruders, and since you cannot possibly survive the catacombs, your imprisonment there should serve both purposes quite admirably.
I will not resist you in this, my lord. I shall do my best to save your daughter.
First, I must tell you that the catacombs are a labyrinth of rooms, a place of exceeding danger. You will need many tools and clear wits to survive it.
I am ready.
Very well.
Oh, okay.
My guards will take you there now. You seem courageous enough, but the catacombs will determine how brave you really are.
So if you don't have everything you need, they let you go and prepare. But when you come back, you have to go in. So I must have everything I need to defeat the catacombs. So here we go. I am definitely going to have to write out a map here. OBS, my chroma cam doesn't know what to do with my piece of paper. It's wiping it out. I am definitely going to have to make a map because I don't remember the catacombs at all.
Why did you tell Lord Azure you were ready and willing to face the catacombs? No one is ever ready, and only a fool could be willing.
And you are far wiser, I suppose, to leave a maiden to die, to not fight this plague on your own people?
Bravery and suicide are two different things, human. You will have a chance to renounce your choice soon enough, when you lay trembling under the Minotaur's hooves.
We shall see. Thanks for the escort.
We only escort you to your death. May the fates make it quick so that you do not have to scream long.
I know this is super serious, but I can't get past that guy's voice. Bravery and suicide are two different things, mortal.
The catacombs entrance door is locked from the outside by the Winged One's guards. It seems that leaving the catacombs by that door is not an option.
Alright, I'm in the catacombs. I love these. The setting, the background music, the ambient noises. I loved the Catacombs. First time I played this. This is also where I got stuck for a ridiculously long amount of time. I used to have like dreams as a kid of like I played it so much I had dreams about it, trying to get out of here, and to finally get through it was awesome. And is again one of those moments with my dad, because we stumbled on the solution to the Catacombs completely by accident. We were having a conversation about something else the one day, and we had the like aha moment go off in our heads. We were in the kitchen. I could picture it clear as day. Love that moment. All right, let's start by going left. Oh, big old rat. All right, another room. Nowhere else to go but straight.
Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock.
All right, that leads to another room. It exits up and to the left. Ooh, a bat. Okay.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Like, it does so much to raise the tension, the occasional ambient noises, like... Oh, God, alright, so another room with a way up and another way left. I'm just going to keep going the same direction here. I got to fill in this map.
As he walks through the
No!
doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
I hope you enjoy that. That's going to happen a lot to me.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Don't just wonder, Alexander. Let your conscience be your guide.
Silence you. Alright, let's go. We're going to go left. We're just not going to go that far. Alright, yep, straight. Okay, this time let's go north. See what happens. Just straight away. Another room. Just a left-hand turn. Another straightaway. I have a feeling like I'm going to be going in a big circle. Yeah, let me, I got a hole in the wall. Let's do some peeking.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the wall. It seems to shudder in revulsion at the mere touch of the cold stone. Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees nothing of interest. Alexander takes the hole in the wall.
Can't leave the hole in the wall there. I'm going to be in big trouble. Alright. Well, that was a big circle that went nowhere. I'm back at... If I go over here, I'll definitely die. So I guess we're back to where we started. Come on, Alexander. I don't want to jinx it. It seems like everything's working okay tonight. Computer is... you know, whirring away, but not like about to melt down. That's good. All right, there's where we started. So let's go this way. Straight away. To a straight and to a right. All right. Straight away. Another room. I can go down or up. Let's go down. Damn it!
As he walks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
Like, does this dunce not look at his feet? Like, who just wanders into a room like... Ah! Good God.
Don't just wander, Alexander.
Alright, we're going up. Going right, going straight, and then this time I don't go down, I go up.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of...
Somewhere in the maze of rooms. Oh. Alright, this comes up to a dead end.
The remains of several unfortunate souls haunt the room. These bones seem more recent than the ancient catacomb bones that Alexander has seen so far.
Uh-oh.
Perhaps they were victims of the Minotaur, or perhaps they died while wandering lost in the maze. 3 of the skeletons are completely intact. Alexander doesn't want to disturb that skeleton. He seems to have all his bones intact, and it'd be a shame to break up the set.
Okay, it's guiding me towards...
Alexander doesn't want to disturb that skeleton. He seems to... Alexander picks up the skull.
Oh, but I have no qualms about just taking a random skull, huh? Alright. A skull. A skull, a skull, a skull. Charming a creature of the night. A skull full of hot oak embers. Well, I have a skull. It's not full of oak, but that's fine. Bit of sulfur, some brimstone, and the strand of a pure-hearted maiden's hair. Well, I have some of Cassima's hair. I guess that'll be the real test, won't it? Alright, so that was a dead end, but it got me a skull, which I need for a later spell. Don't know why I couldn't have taken the skull of any of these other bodies, but we went with that skull. Alright, so now we're going up. This goes up and then heads to the left. Okay, this is a trap room. I should have saved after I got the skull. This is definitely a trap, and there's a rhyme that you find in the guide to the Land of the Green Isles. 3 rows laid upon the bower. 1, 2, 3. A scythe for him who cuts the flower. A crown, a dove, most noble race. Something about my bones make sacred this dread place. Yeah! Alright! And we're through! Also, it's crazy that I had that one memorized. Alright, so the next room gives us a way up and a way to the left. And I came through the room with the poem. Uh-oh.
Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature.
Alright, let's go to the left.
Ah, you were a human only and not the monster himself. I heard you coming and thought you were the beast. Did my father send you here to save me?
Why, yes, he did, but how did you...
Hush, there is no time. I think I have discovered the Minotaur's secret exit from the catacombs. Follow me and we'll both be saved.
So, I have come across a winged one in the catacombs who has sparkling gold eyes and no voice box. No portrait box. Do you think I should go the way the genie went? Probably not. I'm gonna go back the way I came. Sorry if you really are Lady Ariel. I don't trust you. Ooh, something interactable. Shield. Give me that shield.
Alexander takes the shield from the wall.
I was supposed to do that. I got a ding. And now the next room is straight ahead. Let's see where we get. Boy, another straightaway. Alright, nothing interactable really on this screen. Another straightaway and a way to the right. I don't know which way I'm going, so let's just get a quick save. Ow! My back. Alright, so the way forward just goes to the left. And that leads to a room that's just a straightaway. What age group are these games designed for? I mean, probably as young as, like, early teens, I think. Like, there's some adult themes, but they're not, like, overtly violent. Like, not unlike the Quest for Glory games, you don't ever really fight anybody. You solve puzzles. But I won't lie, as a young kid, I was, like, stuck in these catacombs forever because I just expected to wander my way through and solve it, and I didn't take the time to, like, properly figure it out.
Niches in the wall form stone burial beds. Ancient bones lie crumbling on the unyielding rock. Alexander notices that this skeleton has old coins over its eyes.
I bet I could use those.
Alexander finds 2 coins on the skeleton's eyes. He takes the old coins.
And some of the puzzles too, like, they're designed to be difficult because they're like a form of copy protection, right? Like, if you don't have the little book that contains that rhyme, the only way you're getting through that one room is trial and error. Like, would take so long, stepping from rock to rock and then getting just, you know. Alright, so far there's only one possible way I can go. Alright, gotta go this way.
It's a trap. The doors have sealed Alexander inside. and the ceiling is coming down.
Okay, so there's a mechanism going. The doors are stuck. I need something that can grind, that can like... Okay, every time the wheels spin, the ceiling drops, so... This is the hardest thing I'm carrying.
In a desperate move, Alexander throws a brick into the grinding gears. The brick is caught between two cogs. The gears shriek and shudder. The mechanism grinds to a halt. The ceiling is stuck. The trap is sprung.
That's one of those fail state moments, because if you enter here without that brick, you cannot leave. You will simply be crushed by that ceiling over and over again until you die. Alright, so this is now a sprung straightaway. Whew. Another straightaway. Which leads to an up and a down.
Somewhere, far off into the catacombs, the sounds of hooves faintly echo.
I love that the audio is the same, but what the narrator says changes a little bit each time, right? He hears the distant sound of a wild animal, or it's the hooves echo, or he says the one about how it seems like it's born out of his own imagination rather than, you know, any living creature. I appreciate that. Like, that's kind of fun. Oh, alright, so I came down to a room that just bends. So let's try this way. Ooh, dead end, I think.
Alexander hears the distant sounds of a wild animal somewhere in the maze of rooms.
Don't see anything interactable here. Back out the way I came. Alright, going north.
Alexander hears a low growling, so faint as to seem born of his fired imagination rather than of any living creature.
Sounds! A trap floor!
Zounds!
Alexander seems to have fallen to a lower level of the catacombs. Wherever he is, the place sure is dark. Alexander can't even see his hand in front of his face.
Another fail state, because if you don't show up with the right thing, you're in trouble.
Alexander takes the candle from his tinderbox and uses the flint in the box to light it.
Aha! So that's why it's dark in here. A torch is out.
Alexander lights the extinguished torch and puts his tinderbox away.
All right. I'm on the lower level. Save that. Let's get going. Straight away.
Somewhere, far off into...
Which leads to a straightaway. Oh gosh, which leads to a four-way. Up, down, left, right, huh?
Alexander hears the As he looks through the doorway, Alexander gets a very bad feeling about this room.
tickets. Oh, next.
Don't just...
Alright. Going. Continuing on. Alright, don't go down. So that's just a dead end. Alright. That led to a straightaway, which leads to a way down and a way to the left. Yeah, I know. The catacombs noises. Oh, all right. That leads to a straightaway. Here we go. That leads to a T intersection. Let's try this way.
Alexander hears the sound of a wild beast again. This time, so loud that the creature itself seems to be in the same room with him.
Oh!
The noises are coming from the other side of the east wall.
This is what the hole in the wall was for. Alright. Oh, hey, Clef.
Alexander puts the hole in the wall on the east wall.
Very nice. Good to know. Thank you.
Trembles slightly with dread at the clammy feeling of the stones.
Oh, poor hole in the wall. I play this one every couple of years. But I also like to kind of... I don't know if this makes sense. I kind of like to play through it with fresh eyes, particularly for the benefit of someone who's never played it before. And they get to sort of have that, like, moment of... like, first time, right? To be able to recreate that excitement of solving puzzles. But I realized it had been a couple years since I'd played it last, so... or I guess about a year and a half. And I've been looking forward to it, so... Thank you for the follow, by the way. I missed you the other day.
Alexander peers through the hole in the wall and sees... just another room in the catacombs.
Or is it? Da-da-ding!
Aha! Not just another room at all. So that's why Alexander couldn't find the Minotaur's lair. At least Alexander now knows the lair exists, somewhere in the maze on the other side of this wall. While Alexander contemplates what he's just seen, the hole in the wall, frightened by the Minotaur, makes a run for it. Alexander hopes the little creature finds its way home to the Isle of Wonder.
Right, like, I get that they don't let you keep it, because it's literally, you know, it's a Sierra game, so everything you use, like, once, and then it's done. But poor thing, just, like, wandering around the catacombs lost. Alexander does not come off as the good guy here. You know, I scared it when I abducted it, and then I brought it here and frightened the living heck out of it. Alright, so I just have to get to the room with the tapestry. I saw the Minotaur using the tapestry, so off we go. Alright, that leads to a straightaway. Yeah.
Somewhere far off
into the catacombs. The Minotaur is still making noise. Alright, gosh, another four-way. There we go. Have I seen the death scene that happens if I don't use the tinderbox in the dark room on the bottom floor? No, I haven't. I always have it with me.
Alexander hears the
Does he just, like, expire or something? I'd be curious to, I don't know what it is. Oh, alright, this room bends straight, and then it goes to the left. So I'm trending. Oh gosh, now it goes down. Where am I headed? No, actually, I hadn't. It's technically the most gruesome death scene in the game, but it happens in the dark, so it's just implied. Oh.
Alexander hears a low growling.
Does the Minotaur find him in the dark? Like, oh, that would be horrible. Back this way. Alright, and then it leads to a straightaway, or it's down. I want to keep going to the right, because I'm bending back towards that room with the hole. No, I don't think I've ever seen that one. Or, well, you know, seen it. I'll have to I'll have to play through it again at some point and try. Okay, hold on. Now we're bending back upwards. And now we're bending back to the right. And another multi-directional room. To the right and up. The Minotaur shows up and brutalizes, tearing him in half lengthwise. You see his lit-up eyes separate. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's horrible.
Somewhere, far off.
Yeah, that
the
would
catacombs,
definitely be the most violent of the deaths. Aha! So this is the part where my father and I got very excited the one day, because we weren't big on save scumming, right? Get to a certain point and then let's just use every item in the inventory one after another till we solve it. And we had tried everything to defeat the Minotaur, and the day that like the solution dawned on us, we felt so silly, but also at the same time, it was so rewarding to then rush back to the computer, boot up the game, and solve it. Like, oh, Pat Lanicus, welcome. Yeah, I was going old school lately. I've been feeling a bit of nostalgia for the old point and click. So, all right.
A very beautiful, very dusty tapestry hangs on the wall.
I saw the Minotaur play around with the tapestry, so here we go.
This tapestry looks familiar.
No worries, no
Now,
worries.
let's see.
I'll pop over when I'm
I
done.
don't feel anything. Aha! A hidden latch.
A hidden latch.
Alexander triggers the little latch. A secret door rolls open.
Yeah, it's the best one. It really is. Thing about the labyrinth is that if you show up at that point and you don't have the 4 items you need to complete it, yes, you're sent away to prepare. I do like that, because even though this place is full of nothing but fail states, it doesn't force you down here, right? Like, you get that chance to go collect the things you need before you come back. Right, but then if you come back, it doesn't matter if you have it or not, because they just scoop you up off the beach and are like, ta-da, you're coming with us. Or once you climb to the top or whatever it is, right? Like, you get that one chance. But you're absolutely right, Clef. I really appreciated they did that. Well, particularly after the fail states in King's Quest V. Like, oh my gosh, there's like 4 different points where if you don't click on one thing or you go in the wrong order to the wrong screen, like, your game becomes instantly unwinnable, and you might not realize it for hours. It's awful. It's so cruel. Yes, that one was just plain cruel. All right, here we go. Muster all of our courage and most of our wits. Yep, the cat in the shoe. Exactly.
No! I beg of you! Please don't hurt me!
Your struggles are useless.
It's the Minotaur, and he's struggling with a Winged One's girl. She must be Lady Celeste.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not proud. The first time I made it to this point, I tried to just leave. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna take off. I found the exit. You have fun with the Winged One on your weird little altar there that I'm not comfortable with. I'm just gonna bounce. But I think I shall be brave.
Excuse me. I demand the release of that maiden this instant, you fiend.
Lady Celeste looks wildly around the room for the source of the strange voice and spots Alexander.
You there! Human! Help me! Help!
enter my lair.
I ask you to release your captive or suffer the consequences.
Never. You die, human.
As the Minotaur advances in attack, Alexander slowly backs away. Until he can back away no more.
Now where to, little man?
I like how the art direction for the Minotaur was basically, like, we won't play with the voice afterwards, like with a synthesizer. Just get, like, a little bit of phlegm in the back of your throat and go with it.
You die, human.
Like, oh, whatever. They're having fun with it. Like, it's just ridiculous. Okay, oh god, wait. All right, it's a Minotaur. He's kind of a bully. This was the thing that took us so long to figure out, because it couldn't for the life of us figure out why a red scarf would work in this situation until we were like, oh my god. Of course this is gonna work.
Alexander, his back inches from the fiery pit, tempts the Minotaur with the Red Queen's scarf.
I
Look
got
here,
it.
you bully. Nice, bright red.
Red. Now you die.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know that.
The Minotaur drops from sight amidst the consuming flames. Slowly, his scream fades as well.
Have you been harmed, Lady Celeste? Are you all right?
No, I am not all right. I assume you do not intend to leave me tied up on this vile monstrosity.
Of course not. Sorry.
It's just like
Let's see.
wandering into the fire
If
pit.
you'll give me a moment, I'll have these untied in no time.
I can't wait that long.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever bothered to go
Look,
back.
I wear a small dagger just inside my belt. It should be enough to cut the rope.
Oh, all right. I've got it, Lady Celeste. Here we go.
Thank you. You may keep the dagger as a gift for saving my life.
That's very generous.
Forget it. Do you mind if we just get out of here now?
It's the only way you know she's a good one is she gets a face portrait when you save her.
The Winged One's guards, bored with the pointless waiting, are startled by the sound of rock moving against rock.
So in case you miss something early on, you can come back and get the, like,
Lady
coins
Celeste,
or something.
I do well.
I'm quite well, thanks to the bravery of a mere human. So much for your superior intellect.
Yes, milady.
Now bring him along. I'm going home.
Oh, that bird's got a twinkly eye. And Jeannie's been keeping tabs on me.
I see you have proven yourself the hero of the prophecy. Well, I am expected to thank you for saving my daughter's life. So I thank you. I am obliged to thank you for the restoration of our sacred catacombs. It means much to our people. We have already begun the process of clearing the deadly traps from its rooms. It is also my duty to grant you a visit with the Oracle. So this I do. I will grant you the freedom to leave here unharmed, despite my orders to the contrary from the Crown. But there, my obligations to you end. I have no love for Alhazred, but he is my liege, and if Princess Cassima trusts him and wishes to wed him, my guards will take you to the Oracle now. When your time with her is through, I want you to leave the City of the Winged Ones and never return. I don't know who you are or what you want here, but I will not disobey my crown further.
I thank you, Lord Azure. I will respect your wishes.
I love how he's like, I'm expected to thank you. So thank you. Like, jeez. Love this cutscene.
Hail to thee, great oracle. Lord Azure sends you this wingless mail. It appears that he solved the cliffs of logic and...
defeated the Minotaur in his lair. So I have seen. So this is the one that haunts my pool of late. Welcome, young seeker. What knowledge do you desire?
Princess Cassima, whatever you can tell me, great oracle.
Ah, of course, the princess. That explains my images. Let us see what we can see. I see a maiden, lovely and pure, but surrounded by evil. She's a rose set amidst bitter thorns. It is her fate to be the pawn of dark powers, and yours to try to redeem her.
How?
Yep.
How do I redeem her?
2 different options going forward from here.
Fate is not like the cut of a blade, young one, but rather like the myriad of paths formed when a hammer cracks ice.
I love that quote.
I will tell you what I can, but what will actually come to pass is up to you. I see that any attempt to reach the girl will force you into battle, a struggle against a dark force. If you lose, your life will be forfeit.
Who must I fight?
A great darkness surrounds your adversary, preventing me from seeing clearly. I can only make out the shape of a black cloak. But before this final struggle, I see an infiltration, a dangerous game of hide-and-seek in corridors filled with enemies. The risks are high, but it is the only way to reach the one you seek. There is more than one way into this place. Your choice will dictate much.
What else do you see, mighty oracle?
Oh, such pain. I see 2 restless spirits crying out for revenge. These shades could help you destroy the dark force if they were to be brought back from their spiritual form. Yet this is only one possible path to your destiny.
But it's the better one.
I'm afraid this is getting beyond me. I know very little about the afterlife. I can only advise getting counsel from the druids. Be warned. The druids are reclusive and dangerous. They might aid you, or they might destroy you. Like their island, the druid's nature is hidden in the mists. There is nothing more I can do for you, except to give you this. It is water from the sacred pool. That and my blessing go with you.
Thank you, great oracle.
Not even a goodbye? Jeez. All right, that is a massive info dump. But I also love that cutscene. The staging of it, the colors, so dark and gloomy in that cave. All right, and it really gives you that hint that there's going to be branching path decisions ahead, which isn't always something that happens in point-and-click games. And I love that. There's a shorter way to get to what you want, but you skip a ton of the game's content, and you don't necessarily get the good ending. It's a fine ending. It's okay. If you want the really good ending, then you have to play through more of the game, which, whatever, that's not really a deal breaker for me. Now, I just got that sick... No, I don't want the rabbit's foot, for crying tears. I wanted to open my spell book, because I just got Sacred Water. Magic paint spell, the make rain spell. A few drops salt water not from the sea, 1 vial sacred water, and falling water. All right. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure I already have the salt water not from the sea.
Alexander is carrying an old, battered hunter's lamp. The lamp contains baby's tears.
Yeah, it does. So let's just go ahead and do what we know needs to be done.
Alexander pours the contents of the oracle's vial into the hunter's lamp with the baby's tears. The vial, now empty of its sacred fluid, disintegrates.
So all I need now is some falling water, and this spell will be ready to enchant. Yep, you totally can do that, because womp womp, which is what happened to me the first time I played this. I didn't fully get how to prep that spell, and as soon as I would go to see you-know-whom, you-know-what would happen, and I'd be in real big trouble. So, alright, here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. So let's see. Alright, I got lots of options here.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Oh, the Isle of the Mist.
Another island has appeared on the magic map. Alexander wonders if it has anything to do with the oracle's reference to the Druids.
I love that opening narration from the bookshop keeper about how, like, you know, there's lots of different ways that you can, you know, there's lots of different islands and we don't know how many there are, and like, it's just really cool. I love that. All right.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Yeah, there's times when the narrator kind of leads you by the hand, like, just, you know.
From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
Oh.
From the east come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
Well, this is clearly interactable. Slightly different than the rest of the looking pixels here.
Alexander takes the scythe.
Nice. And a blink and you miss it moment. We have a charcoal pit here.
A communal fire pit occupies a place of honor in the center of the little village. The fire pit, naturally enough, contains coal. The coals are cold. That's odd, because Alexander definitely smells the smoke of an open fire close by.
So it's clearly not that one. Cold. Yes. Coals are cold.
Alexander reaches into the fire pit and takes a lump of coal.
Who else has described it as a lump of coal? I think we know some coal people who might be interested in this lump.
From the northeast come the sounds of mysterious drums and chanting.
So that's still going on,
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Well, let's go
Alexander
bring this
feels
coal.
a strange pulling sensation.
Let's go bring this coal to the... to the red and white queen. Now they can both have a lump of coal. Because again, nobody in this kingdom managed to function before I showed up. Oh.
There's a small bottle on the coffee table. It bears a label that reads, "Drink me."
I like how there's just gifts left for me in the Isle of
picks
Wonder.
up the bottle.
Right? Alright, so I got something that said drink me. Well, might as well do it.
Alexander decides to swallow the potion in the bottle labeled "Drink me" to see what happens. Suddenly, his vision fades to black. His lungs become too heavy to breathe. His heartbeat slows. then beats no more.
Put me down before I juice all over you. Yeah, the black and white
Suddenly,
screen.
his heart takes a lurch, then beats strong.
Any second, I had been waiting for the, ticket, please, when I first drank this potion. Hi,
His
Ivysaur.
chest heaves like that of a newborn. His vision
Next.
clears, and Alexander feels fine.
Phew. For a minute there, I thought, what if someone else had seen me and thought, sounds.
So in the version I had on the CD, there was a bug where after you came back to life, the doors wouldn't render. So you'd be standing here with just like an open pathway to the chessboard land. Yeah. There's kidnapping laws in this here kingdom. Nah.
Your Highness may as well spend her royal time contemplating something else. The lump of coal shall be sent to the Castle of the Crown under my name, and that's all there is to it.
No, it shan't.
Yes, it shall.
If the coal is sent in your name, I shall royally decree a ban on all red on this isle.
You do, and I shall royally decree that white shall be henceforth used for all mopping up of cabbage stew.
Oh.
You wouldn't dare!
Oh, wouldn't I?
Oh, it's you! Have you thought of any more of those brilliant ideas of yours?
So I love, again, like whenever my wife and I are having a very public dispute, what we love to do is go to the edge of our property and make sure we have it as loudly as possible when other people are wandering by. Like, why aren't they back in their chess castle having this debate? It's never explained why they bother to come to the path at all to have this fight. And yes, I love chess. I'm not particularly good, but I very much enjoy the game. Here, have some coal, for God's sakes.
I found the two of you another lump of coal so that you can stop fighting over the one you have.
Oh, let me see! A lump of coal! And what a beauty it is, too! Oh, marvelous!
Right, Clef? Like, they've just been having
Now
this
we can
fight
stop
all over the
fighting,
kingdom.
sister. Your Highness can just keep the old lump of coal, and I'll take this new one.
Quite right. That settles everything.
As a token of our endless esteem and royal favor, please accept this magnificent and truly incredible spoiled egg.
Thanks.
Let me see that lump of coal, Your Highness.
It is a beauty, isn't it?
Why, it's bigger than my lump of coal. Let me have it immediately.
Over my dead body, Your Highness. It's my lump of coal, and it is indeed larger and much grander. Just look at that sheen.
I demand you exchange with me immediately.
That is correct, Alexander. I'm making 1,000-year-old eggs, only 999 years to go. However, spoiled egg, it's going to be sulfury. I think I need it for a spell. Ah, you done good, kid. Now go play in the street or something. Ah. Right? Like, they serve no other purpose. Oh my gosh. There was an adventure game that was on, like, the old Apple II, and I distinctly remember playing it in, like, 4th grade because it was way too advanced for any of us, and we couldn't figure out what the heck we were supposed to do. But the only parts of it that I ever can remember is that there was like, you were in some sort of a castle or a house, and there was a bathtub that if you like got in the bathtub, it was like a portal that took you outside to the moat, or it took you outside the house or something like that. Your reason you talking about vines triggered it for me is there was a section where there were vines. And in order to progress in the story, you had to move past them. But literally every time you would, they would simply grab you and choke you. And nothing in our inventory was ever able to help us get past them. And I cannot think of the name of the game to save my life. Like, I've gone on all of these retro websites, and I've tried looking it up, and I describe it as best I can. And all the screenshots that I see from games that would have come out around that time, none of them are quite right. And it drives me crazy because I've never been able to figure out what this game was, because we never beat it, like ever. We never got anywhere close. Because we couldn't get past the vines in the one room that would just instantly strangle us. So we would just get mad and go play Lemonade Stand for like the 70 billionth time.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Maybe try posting on the Tip of My Tongue subreddit, see if someone else is. That's actually not a bad idea. I should try that. Yeah, the only other thing I can remember about it was there was like a pep potion you got at some point, but we never found the correct time to use it. Because every time you tried to use it, it would be like, you're not peppy enough, or you're already peppy enough. It was the only things I can recall from it. I mean, to be fair, it was 4th grade, so I was 9? That was a wee while ago. You can use the inventory hand icon on the map while it's in your inventory to use the map more easily. Oh, I never thought of that. I always just went through the whole process of clicking it. But I guess if you're gonna like speed run it, you need to figure those out. Now, let's see. This little guy likes to move. What do you bet? I use something I got in the catacombs to keep me safe.
Using that on the wall would not help anything.
No one's trying to use it on the wall. I was trying to use it on Alexander.
Alexander decides to pass through the gate, preparing the shield just in case. The magic arrow completely shatters the shield. Good thing the arrow didn't hit Alexander.
Good thing. Ah, the traps on the Isle of the Beast.
The stone statue doesn't respond.
Sorry about that arrow, friend.
The stone archer looks resigned and does not reply.
I'm a magic trap. They only gave me 1 arrow, so, you know.
Alexander walks forward to step onto the gazebo. But the rose hedges on either side of the path, sensing an intruder's presence, reach out their vines and blend together. The path is blocked.
Rose hedges, eh?
Flowering rose hedges grow on either side of the path winding north. Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
Maybe Cassima will like a white rose. All right, well, I do have a scythe for he who cuts the flower. Hey, look at that. That poem comes in handy twice. Let's see if we can chop our way.
Alexander wields the scythe, determined to get past the magical rose hedges. The leaves fly as Alexander tries to cut the branches faster than they can grow back together. He sees light. He's through.
I love the piles of grass clippings that form. It's fantastic.
Who dares enter Beast's garden?
My name is Alexander. I didn't mean to disturb your private garden.
No. And yet, monsieur, you could hardly have accidentally broken through the 3 enchanted traps of the Isle of the Beast.
I suppose it is simply my nature to break through enchanted traps.
You must be a prince, then. I know the nature of princes all too well. This face you see before you is hideous, is it not?
That's fantastic.
Well, for the face of a beast, it is really quite noble.
Ha! I'm glad you like it, for you will soon own one just like it. I too was once a pretty prince, caring for nothing but adventuring and rescuing fair maidens. But I rankled one too many evil hags. One dark night, I was turned into this obscenity you see before you, warped in shape and trapped on this enchanted island over 100 years ago.
Surely there is a way off this island.
Oh, surely. You broke in, did you not? And yet think, where would I go clad so eloquently as I am with this silk and this pelt?
This
you
pelt!
See, my prison is also my sanctuary. You are the first to break through the barriers in lo these many years. That is, except for the druids who stole my heirloom coat of arms.
If there's any way I can help.
Help? You? I'm afraid you don't understand. The enchanted barriers were a warning and protection for you more than for me. Your prize for forcing your way past them is to join me in this dire life. By the laws of this sorcery, you are doomed to be trapped in the form of a beast. Your reward for broaching this garden is to be my slave, a slave as beastly as I am. You have only a few hours of humanity left.
But that's not possible. There must be some way to break the enchantment. Spells always have a weakness somewhere.
The enchantment you are
Where is that
under
written?
is tied to my own. Oh, the sorceress left me a way out. But I'm afraid it was only her final bitter joke. You see, I need only find a maiden to join me here, to share my castle, my life, willingly. Take another look at me. You can't help but admire the hag's terrible cruelty and cunning.
Right, at least
I
Beast
shall
is
try to
bipedal.
find such a maid, for Cassima's sake.
Truly? How determined of you. I personally would not waste my last few hours as a man on an impossible errand. However, you may do as you please. I give you this token. It's my family ring, and the only heirloom I have left. If perchance you should... If you think you have found a maid...
I shall give her this ring.
Yes, she must accept it of her own free will. By doing so, she accepts me. Not that you shall find anyone, mind you. Your time is short. Count the minutes on your fingers, while your fingers you have, pretty prince. Your master will await you.
Instantly takes the ring to the pawn shop. Like, ta-da, I'm done. That's interesting. Count the minutes on your fingers. I wonder if you actually get 10 minutes, like, real time. I've never actually measured it before. But I see falling water.
There's no time to do anything with the fountain now. Alexander's about to turn into a beast.
Beast. Also, like, why couldn't Beast just have me, like, be, I don't know, like, cohabitate? Why does he have to enslave me? Like, just seems like icing on top of it. So let's see. We need to find someone who has nothing to live for and might like roses.
Alexander pulls out his magic
Hey, it
map.
worked! Speed is of the essence. Beast didn't write the rules for his own curse.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
I mean, it's, you know, your last few minutes of life, Alexander. Don't get a wiggle on here. Just nice and slow. No rush. Happy ever after, right? As Beast's pet.
The girl is too shy and fearful to talk to a stranger, especially a tall, handsome one such as Alexander.
Oh, don't worry. That'll be fixed soon enough.
Excuse me, maid, but I have someone I'd like to tell you about.
Please, sir. I'm not allowed to talk to strangers.
Well, I think I have something you'll want.
Pardon me, maid. I hope you don't think me forward, but I see that you like roses. I thought you might, perhaps, like a fresh white rose.
Alexander can see the conflict in the girl's pretty face as she fights between her distrust of him and her desire for the white rose. The rose wins.
The rose wins.
Oh, I shouldn't, sir, but it is so lovely. I've never seen a rose of white. It looks so pale and delicate. Wherever did you find one of such a color?
There are many hedges of them on the Isle of the Beast, and they grow together like magic.
Oh, truly? What an adventure that must be to see them. But I should not speak so, especially to a stranger. Thank you for the rose, though, kind sir.
All right, now that I've given you the rose, it's time to swoop in for the kill.
Alexander has a thought about the serving girl. He decides to bring up the subject of beast with her.
Let me tell you about the place where the white roses grow. The Isle of the Beast is an enchanted place. There's a path running through a deep forest. The path crosses 3 magic blockades, set to keep all visitors away. At the center lives a tremendous beast.
Really? Magic blockades? How exciting! What kind of a beast? Is it very terrifying and ferocious?
It is a beast that walks on 2 legs and dresses like a prince. It speaks with the voice of a man.
A beast that talks and wears clothes? How is that possible? Is the beast magic too?
Not magical. Enchanted. Beast was once a prince, but a witch trapped him in the form of a beast and set him on the island. There he lives in a castle in the midst of a maze.
How terrible! Imagine how lonely he must be.
It is a very lonely prospect, isn't it? Oh, I have met him, you see. He is indeed ferocious, but who would not be?
He really exists? Oh, how it breaks my heart. If I could, I would tend to such a beast. Such a beast might find comfort in a kind face. Do you not think it so?
Oh, I think it so. I very much think it so. You would not be afraid of him?
Afraid? Maybe at first. But how silly of me to speak so. The roses in this little yard are the only magic I will ever see.
I could take you there.
Oh,
In
damn near
fact,
died.
I would owe you my life if you would go. If you truly wish to go.
You are serious? I could leave here? Oh, I have always dreamt of leaving. But to actually go... This is the only home I have ever known.
Home is a hard place to leave, even if you're unhappy there.
But I will go. If I can help him, I must go.
Meanwhile, while this conversation's going on, Alexander, feels the beast within him growing. Let's speed it up here.
Is there nothing you wish to take with you?
When he starts off on his own.
Nothing.
Then take this ring. It is his. He will be pleased if you would wear it.
Why, it's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. Thank you kindly, sir.
Beauty! Where do you think you're going?
To a place where roses grow, and to someone who truly needs me.
I love when he tries to use the cookbook and it references King's Quest 3.
I see you wear my ring. You willingly agreed to spend your life here with me? Do you know what that means?
Yes, my lord, I do. I have been touched by your story.
Pity alone need not sentence you to endure this face.
Oh, but it is a gentle face, and kind.
You look at me so sweetly and are not repulsed. Oh,
By the light of your eyes, my spirit soars. The enchantment! It is broken!
I am pleased to have served you, my lord. Do you still wish me to stay?
What? Speak not such nonsense, beauty. Do you think that I learned nothing of true love during my time here? You are my queen.
Oh, my clothes! This gown!
How well it suits your noble heart.
Alexander, how can I ever repay you? I have nothing to offer except my gratitude. But please, take these old clothes. Perhaps you'll find someone in need during your travels.
You have already repaid me by your example of courage, Beauty. And by your friendship, I hope.
You will always have our friendship and loyalty, Prince Alexander. But from a fellow adventurer, take some advice. If you find your true love, protect her with your life. Fear all beasts without the redeeming humanity of love. And to aid you, accept my mirror. Now that my life is no longer hung in false shadows, I have no need for it. Give it to someone with nothing to fear from the truth it reveals.
Thank you. I wish you both well.
He hands him this mirror that's like...
Let me take you home.
belongs on a wall. It's like, here's this giant thing I had carrying around with me. And yes, the audio does kind of bug out there at that part. It's not well balanced with everything else. He always gets so quiet. All right.
Alexander fills the hunter's lamp to the brim with the fountain water.
All right, that's everything. Let's cast ourselves a little spell.
Alexander prepares to enchant the hunter's lamp with the Make Rain spell incantation.
Clouds of thunder, shafts of light, come and sup with me tonight. Waters 3 have I for tea, brew a tempest now for me.
What the fuck?
The lamp in Alexander's hand gives a little perk. He hopes the spell works despite his makeshift teapot.
Well, we'll find out. Now I just have to heat it to boiling, and it'll make rain. What an oddly specific spell. I was also super bummed that you never got to, like, explore Beast's castle. Like, I understand you don't need to. Like, it's completely not the point. But, like, there's a maze, and that's, like, a pure white, gorgeous background. Like, I always wanted to explore it. Also, what was the Isle of the Beast called before there was a beast? Like, was it just the Isle?
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
That makes sense about the mirror. Like, Beast would look into it because it's the only way to remember who he is.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Oh, wait, no. Shoot, pull yourself back. I meant to grab another rose. I love that he will never not use that animation.
Alexander takes a magnificent white rose from the rose hedges.
Yeah, he does. Right? Like, I definitely clicked on the
Alexander
other
pulls
side.
out his magic map.
There was a part of that in Quest for Glory where, depending upon where you picked flowers in Irana's piece, you could get the hero to pick them and then turn in place and pick others on the other side. And if you didn't do it right, he would just bend and pick like the same animation twice. And I always made a point to try and get him to pick, front to back, because it just looked better to me. And then it became like an obsession. Like, I had to pick flowers that way, and I would get very bummed if I screwed it up. Because this is the thing that sane people do.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Off he goes. Also, it took me the longest time to sort out when Alexander's enchanting the teapot and he's waving his hand above his head. I was always like, where did he just like pull this weird ribbon out of? Or like what is this thing he's waving around? And it wasn't till on one of the playthroughs that I noticed that it's the same like colors as when he's zoomed in and out of his magic map. Like, his incantation is generating magic. But that was not at all obvious to me the first couple times I played this. I just thought he pulled out like a random piece of string and was like lassoing around his head like a psychopath. So I love that little detail. Like, as he does his magic spell, he gets the little little bit of that enchantment going. All right, Sing Sing. As long as you're bringing gifts to my sweet Cassima, why don't you bring her a rose?
Alexander doesn't want to disturb the old tree.
No.
There's no reason.
There we go. Jeez.
Alexander holds out the rose, hoping that the bird will deliver it to Cassima. The nightingale takes the rose and heads for the castle once more.
A white rose. How beautiful. It must be from Alexander. How I wish that I could see him with my own eyes, but Abdul will never allow it. He only risks capture by sending me these things, dear to my heart though they are. Fly elsewhere, my pretty friend. Do not endanger Prince Alexander again by taking tokens from his hand. Forgive me, Alexander, and forget me. I cannot return your love, for fear that I shall never leave this castle again.
Alexander waits in vain for Cassima's nightingale to return, but the bird does not. Could there be something wrong? Or does Cassima simply not welcome his attentions further?
Right? Like, it's actually kind of really sad. He gives her the flower, it flies off, and then he just doesn't hear anything. It's a bummer. All right. Things look good. Things look good.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Time for the melodrama.
Alexander suddenly gets a very sneaky idea.
I can't go on anymore. Without Cassima, I'd just rather not live.
Prince Alex, no!
It's true. The Wazir has beaten me. I give up. Poison is my last resort.
Stop.
I am no more.
Oh, what a waste. The poor young fool.
He's dead. He's dead. Wait until Abdul hears. He'll be so pleased.
Oh, is it really? Gosh, that first game, I bawled my eyes out following Lee's story. Like, I wept bitter tears at the end of that game.
I told you not to pop in like that. You can learn to knock like everybody else.
Sorry, Master. I couldn't help myself. I have great news.
Well, what is it?
Prince Alexander is dead. He killed himself in despair over losing Cassima.
What? Are you positive? That young man has proven to be most devious.
I saw the whole thing myself, Master. He was really and truly quite dead.
Right.
If what you say is true, it shall be most convenient. You've spent enough time on that little irritant. We must start thinking about the wedding.
Anything, Master. Oh, I do love weddings.
Well, we do want you to look your prettiest, don't we? Now, Shamir Shamazel, to the lamp with you. Prepare yourself as we discussed.
Alexander's heart lurches to life in his chest.
Prince Alex! But you were...
Sorry, friend. I was doing a little acting, I'm afraid.
Ah, of course, the strange cloaked man. You are quite clever, and a bit too exciting for an old man.
And then he just like goes back behind the desk like nothing is wrong. Like, you just scared me half to death. Ah, no, not that. I was thinking about trading this in.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please, choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items.
I think I'd like the painter's brush.
Very good, Prince Alex. The painter's brush it is. May your painting go well. Feel free to bring back the brush at any time.
Thank you.
Right, like as a gameplay mechanic, we get to see the cutscene, but like there's no possible way that Prince Alex could ever know which lamp is the correct lamp. Like, fortunately, it's just his nature to like, you know, solve magical thingamabobs. Ooh, not yet. My lamp is still full of stuff.
Hello. I will be right up.
Alright, looks like Jalo's not back.
What can I do for you?
Oh, I am supposed to learn more. I always like how the guy, like, waves you off when you leave the store. Like, I think he's supposed to be waving at you nicely, but it looks like he's like, you know, get out of here. Right? Like, why is this lamp full of water and salt, and why is it glowing? What did you give me? That dude just wants old lamps and the chance of a genie. All right. Well, there's one group of people I've yet to
Alexander pulls
interact
out
with.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Great gods! Did you see that? The man just appeared from nowhere.
Perhaps he was sent by the spirits. I see no boat.
He is an intruder, no matter how he got here. Grab him!
Grab him!
Not again. Look, I'll leave. It's no problem.
I think not. Let's go.
Everywhere I go.
Alexander is frozen at the spectacle before him. Robed figures are gathered around a bonfire. Some mystical ceremony is taking place, but as to its purpose, Alexander has no clue.
We found a trespasser on the beach, Archdruid.
Uh-oh. Archdruid. Now what has Alexander wandered into?
This must be the foreigner we were warned about. How appropriate that he should come during our rain festival. place him in the sacrificial cage.
I love that the headdress's eyes also blink.
There's an ancient druid saying, a man who would save others must first save himself.
Alexander is pushed into the confining wicker cage.
Uh-oh.
And the cage is swung out over the bonfire. Alexander starts to feel a little warm. The bottom of the cage is getting uncomfortably hot. This cage is really hot. Fire in the cage. Alexander pulls out Beauty's old slave clothes, desperate to beat out the flames. The flame is extinguished, but the clothes themselves burn to cinders. Alexander won't be able to keep the cage from igniting for long. The heat and movement must have jarred something. Something that Alexander's carrying is starting to jiggle around. Egad, something's really percolating. The water in Alexander's lamp is hot. It's just about boiling. Alexander feels a drop. It starts to rain.
That man is a powerful nature wizard. By the sacred oak, let him down! I must apologize for our rude welcoming committee. We've been feeling inhospitable ever since the winged ones stole our sacred miniature oak tree. Besides, Wizir Al-Hazred sent a message that we were to watch out for a highly dangerous foreign assassin. I assume you are the one he meant.
I'm sure I'm precisely who he meant. I assure you, I mean to harm no one. Unless that person threatens the princess.
I love the way he says assassin, yeah.
Sorry to have disrupted your ceremony, but I'm running out of time.
What is it that you seek?
The Oracle on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain told me I should speak to you about the realm of the dead. She told me of 2 souls in unrest there that I might be able to free.
Free souls in the realm of the dead? You're mad!
The souls might be able to help me on my mission to save the princess. It's imperative that I do everything I can. The risks are not important.
No. And yet getting yourself killed will hardly help the princess. But I will tell you what I know. Legend has it that it is the right of any human to challenge the Lord of the Dead in order to save his own life or the life of another already past. But the knowledge of how to do this was lost centuries ago. I have only heard of one who tried it, a young knight who came to the land of the Green Isles from a distant land long ago. According to the story, he was determined to challenge the Lord of the Dead for the soul of his dead lover. It is said that he tamed the Lord of the Dead's horse, a black-winged, demon-hearted beast named Nightmare. Nightmare sometimes flies to the human world to feed on certain noxious plants. Those unfortunate enough to see her are glad to escape with their very souls intact. Somehow the knight captured Nightmare and rode off on her back, supposedly to the realm of the dead. But neither the knight nor his lover ever returned. If there was a means for challenge, it was lost with the knight.
I see. Can you tell me anything about the Lord of the Dead?
Ah, that is a blacker matter still. To the druids, he is Samhain, lord of coldness and despair. Samhain was once a man like you or I, but he insulted the gods and was sentenced to rule the underworld. Immortal he is and mateless, robbed of sleep, robbed of movement, robbed of companionship. It is said that he hates all mortals even more for the mortality that he lost. That is all I know.
Interesting. I shall remember.
Now look how the oak embers of our bonfire still glow hot despite the rain. If you're bent on your course, you'll need courage that's just as impervious to the chill. May your luck last longer than your storm, brave one.
May it indeed. Thank you, Archdruid.
Totally draw attention to this new clickable object on the screen.
The embers from the bonfire are still smoldering despite the rain. Alexander scoops up some of the red-hot embers in the ancient human skull.
Right? The iceberg lettuce melts over time, but Alexander has the skin of a lava demon because he can withstand holding a boiling kettle in his hand and holding a skull full of burning hot embers. No problem whatsoever. You know, first, his time as a slave boy to the evil wizard. Gosh, who was the guy? Was it Mord? No, Mordak was the one who captured Cassima. What was the name of the bad guy in King's Quest 3? Basically, yes, thank you, Mananan. Right? Like, he has no nerve endings left in his hands. He's got, like, scar tissue all over his body. He just doesn't feel things anymore. He went on this adventure to find Cassima in the hopes of, like, feeling alive for the first time in ages.
Alexander pulls out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
All right, let's see here. Now, let me double check my spell book, because I'm pretty sure I have everything for the Charm a Creature of the Night spell. Yep, goodbye Misty Island forever. You have literally 3 places you can go. And only 2 of them are really interactable. Like, that's it. Did that spell. Add the hair and brimstone to the Skull of Embers, and then in the presence of the creature, speak incantation over the skull. Okay. I can't remember if I'm supposed to do it like now or when I get there, so let's just...
Alexander puts the strand of hair into the skull. Alexander cracks the spoiled egg and dumps it into the skull containing the embers and the strand of hair. The spoiled egg hisses as it makes contact with the hot embers. Zounds, the steam. Phew, the smell of sulfur.
All right, the skull is prepped. Let's go enchant a creature of the night who flies to the human world to feast on noxious berries, like Nightshade. Right, I've managed everything else on this quest through dumb luck and, like, guessing. Might as well keep it up.
Alexander arrives at the top of the cliffs, somewhat winded after his long but uneventful climb.
Right, like, I'll just, like, sit here and watch.
A mighty winged horse, the color of midnight, is feeding from the nightshade bush. The creature must be Nightmare, the one the druid spoke about.
Oh, this is happening.
Alexander solemnly speaks the incantation over the skull.
Creature of night, to me succumb. Fire and brimstone leave thee numb. Purity bind thee like a chain, to do whate'er I now ordain.
Love that. That
Nightmare
incense.
flares her nostrils at the scent of the fire and brimstone.
That's it. Come on. I need passage to your homeland, fiery one.
Unable to resist the power of the enchanted smell, Nightmare approaches Alexander. Her eyes appear glassy and sightless. In her hypnotized state, she is unaware of the humans so close to her flank, or of anything at all except that marvelous smell.
Now ride!
There's like a half second where Nightmare takes off and Alexander's like practically backwards falling off.
Nightmare deposits Alexander on a strange, cold world. And some of the inhabitants don't look too friendly. The ghoulish, animated bodies of the undead roam the haunted landscape. Restless spirits are bound to the surface of the underworld. Chained by earthly cares, they are unable to go below. These two spirits wander together. The spirit of a beautiful and noble-looking woman floats silently alongside that of a desperate-looking man.
Probably the most adult part of the game. This is an interesting area. Oh boy, no. I just...
Who are you, grieving spirits?
I am Queen Ilaria of the land of the Green Isles, and this beloved spirit is my husband.
Yeah,
Clem
I love the
Callahan.
pyramids in the
We were
background.
murdered in our beds by our trusted Wizir. Like a viper, he snuck in during the night and stabbed us in our sleep. Now my husband's soul is broken, and he will not speak.
Then you are the ones I seek. Are you not the parents of Princess Cassima?
Our daughter! Have you news of the princess?
I know that she is alive and safely back in her kingdom after being rescued from Mordak. But I'm afraid I have not personally seen her. Alhazred is keeping her in her room in mourning for you.
I am glad to hear of her return, but she will not be safe alone with that devil. Oh, that we could be there to protect her.
Cassima, how I fail thee.
My poor husband will never rest while our murder goes unavenged and our daughter is in danger.
I came to take you back with me. Your people are still loyal to you. They need to know about the Wizir. Cassima needs you too.
But this is the realm of the dead. We cannot leave it. Nor, for that matter, can you. The only one who might be able to return us all to the land of the living is the Lord of the Dead. But he would never help us. He has no mercy.
I might be able to convince him. I must try.
Then take this.
I'm very persuasive.
It is my ticket to the underworld. There you will find the Lord of the Dead. I cannot use the ticket as long as I'm chained here. And if we cannot be avenged, I will never be unchained.
Thank you. Perhaps it will save us all.
Be careful, young man. If you can ease my husband's torment and help our daughter, we will be most grateful.
I will do my best.
I will do my
Goodbye,
best.
Queen Ilaria.
The spirit of a woman hangs like a puff of smoke in the air. She is weeping and appears to be very distressed about something.
Why do you not rest, sad spirit?
Rest? I cannot rest. My son is lost.
Lost? You mean in this realm?
No. His spirit is stuck in the land of the living, probably looking for me. But I cannot leave to go show him the way. My poor Ali.
Is there anything I can do?
Take this handkerchief. If you get back to the land of the living and find him, tell him that his mother is waiting for him here. By this kiss, he'll be able to find his way to the realm of the dead.
I'll do my best to find him.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, my Ali.
Don't let that guy get close to me. Right, she swoops in and gives me a high five. Yeah, there's a number of ways where you can make the game unwinnable for yourself, because one of the ways that you get into the castle is with her clothes, but you burned those up in the fire, so you're pretty much locked in.
The skeleton to the left of the path hands something to the spirits that approach the underworld entrance.
Ticket, please. Next.
This scene you would have seen many times, particularly after you fall down the catacombs, yet here I am, a man of flesh and blood.
A strange skeleton with a long, horse-like head and ceremonial armor stands at the base of the path to the underworld. He watches over new arrivals with a discerning eye, handing tickets to the spirits desiring admittance. A large bone keyring hangs from his waist. A uniformed skeleton stands guard at the entrance to the underworld. He takes something from the passing spirits and then waves them on into the underworld.
Might I get one of those tickets?
The skeleton with the tickets must not approve of Alexander's less than ghostly looks. He refuses to give him a pass.
And now for like one of the hands down best parts of the game. We got some xylophone looking bones over here.
A group of large bones form an interesting arrangement to the right of the path. Two smaller bones are propped up on the ground near the larger group. Alexander picks up the two bones on the ground. Now what do these bones remind him of?
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
Here it comes.
The skeletons are overcome with the musical call of the bones. They begin to jiggle, then to dance. Alexander finishes his tune, and the skeletons resume their posts. Despite their frolic, they don't seem any friendlier.
And like everyone saw the key go flying off the ring, and I'm just gonna like bend down and pick it up like it's, you know, I'm just gonna pretend to buckle my shoe real quick. Don't notice me.
Alexander picks up the skeleton key.
Skeleton key, get it? Yuck, 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 yuck. All right, here's my Pass of the Dead.
I have a ticket.
Oh, on. Next.
Next. I always loved this part, like the weird, like sinewy architecture. Like I feel like I'm in something's stomach.
Apparently, Alexander's not the only one who's curious about the body on the path. A knight's remains lie abandoned on the path. The knight, like Alexander, must have been alive when he entered the underworld. but for some reason he never reached his destination. Alexander wonders if this is the knight the druid spoke of.
Well, it's the only knight we found, so it's probably a pretty good guess.
The knight is wearing an old, tattered ribbon. It must have once meant much to him as a sign of his lady's favor. The knight is wearing one black gauntlet. There appears to be some writing on the gauntlet, but Alexander can't quite make out what it says. Alexander takes the knight's black gauntlet and examines the writing on it. Flesh may cross the portal and seek its master, death. Flesh may go where death is trod, and challenge, like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod to spare a mortal's breath. Zounds, that sounds serious.
I do love all of the, like, Arabian Night influences that are in this game. Like, most of the other ones are pretty, like, standard, like, European, and this one just has a lot of, like, 1001 Nights, like Scheherazade and all that. Alright. I need River Styx water for one of my spells. Don't mind me.
Alexander scoops a little of the River Styx into the teacup with the swamp ooze, being careful not to get any of the black water on his skin.
And then I go ahead and stick this teacup that's got swamp ooze and River Styx water, and I just keep it perfectly balanced so that it doesn't spill. Ever.
I must see the Lord of the Dead. Please, let me ride across the River Styx on the ferry.
Charon apparently has rules as strict as those of the skeletons at the underworld's entrance. Alexander is not getting on that boat until he gives Charon the appropriate fare.
Greek custom here. Coins over the eyes.
Will these coins do as fare for passage?
Charon accepts the fare and waves Alexander onto the boat. Alexander reaches out to open the gate. Suddenly, the wood trembles beneath his fingertips.
It's like, sorry, Sharon's a one-way trip.
What touch has awakened my sleep? I smell the blood of a mortar. Reach out thine hand again, fleshy human, that I might devour it. It has been centuries since I last ate.
Despite his fear, Alexander summons his bravest voice to command the living gate.
I would pass, gate. I have business with your master.
My master and thine, human. I would be pleased to introduce thee. Only step forward and thou shalt meet him shortly.
No, thank you. I come to meet the Lord of the Dead with my flesh still intact.
And why should I let you pass, human, when I would much rather eat you?
I have been told that there is a way for humans to enter Death's realm. There must be something I can do. Some task that will allow me to pass through your doors, gate.
I seem to recall something. A trick. Perhaps a test. Yes. Should a human try to pass, a riddle is Gate's wont to ask.
A riddle it is, then.
And if thou wouldst fail to answer, Gate, his thirsty jaws will be thy fate.
Agreed.
Listen as though it meant thy life then, human, for it surely does.
Love his dialogue.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
My first is foremost legally. My second circles outwardly. My third leads all in victory. My fourth twice ends a nominee. My whole is this gate's only key.
Now, I do like that earlier on in the game, much earlier, to the point that you probably have forgotten it at this point, you actually find the answer to a riddle that had blown out of one of the rare books. And it matches the pattern on a page that's missing from the rare riddle book. And the word was love. So even if you didn't have, like, that, it's so, like, foremost legally. Well, L circles outwardly O. I mean, like, it's not bad till you get to the, it twice ends a nominee. Well, that just, it's a little straightforward.
The answer
is love.
Ah, thou traitor of the mortal plane, how didst thou guess love? That riddle should never have been solved. Love is unknown in this realm.
Love cannot be banished, even from this place. There are spirits still pining of it on the surface above. Still less can it be banished from my heart.
Enough! Burden me not with thy poetry. Pass through, and quickly, before I change my mind.
In the center of the great cavern, the Lord of the Dead reigns over the hosts of the dead. He waves spirits into the sea of souls in an endless stream. What things the spirits tell him are best unheard by mortal ears.
I love this image. Like, it's so fantastic.
Alexander approaches the throne of the Lord of the Dead.
Why have you entered my domain, still wearing your flesh? If you are so anxious for death, you might have found it easily enough in the land of the living. But since you are here, you are most welcome to stay. Kiss my hand, and you will be one with the spirits. There will be no pain.
Yeah, this sequence is amazing.
I seek a boon, my lord.
Why should death grant you anything, mortal?
Because it is my right.
I did not come here to die, but to demand my right of challenge. I respectfully challenge thee, death, by throwing down this gauntlet. Man may pass the portal and seek its master, death. Man may pass where death has trod, and challenge like Scheherazade, he who reigns beneath the sod, to spare a mortal's breath.
Also, Death's atrophied legs make me so uncomfortable.
Impossible! He challenges death. Who are you to challenge death?
A man of flesh is all I need to be, my lord.
And what is it that you seek with this challenge? The soul of some dead maiden?
I seek the souls of King Caliphem and Queen Ilaria, the land of the Green Isles.
You would save 2 human souls and emerge alive from this realm yourself? That shall be a difficult challenge indeed. The tomb does not open its doors lightly.
Either all 3 of us leave, or none go.
Very well. Then let me think of an appropriate task. Ah, yes, I have it now. Your challenge is this. For thousands of years I have sat upon this throne. I have heard every sad tale that can be told by human lips. I have seen tragedies that ended empires, injustices that defy reason, love that would light the very stars turn cold and hard. I have seen torments that cannot possibly be borne, and yet must be, for centuries. This thing I have never done. I have never shed a tear. Make me cry, thou man of flesh. That is my challenge.
Make death cry?
Sooner could he turn sea to stone, or fire to ice.
I love that monologue. It's so good. Yeah. Like, oh my God. It's haunting. And it actually, like, Death is not an evil character, right? Like, you actually pity him a little bit here. He's simply Death, like no judgment or anything else on top of it. So he has nothing to fear from the truth. Well, let's go ahead and show him.
If your existence has been all that you say it has, then truth alone shall be my sword.
The mirror's surface swirls with darkness for a moment, then fills with images even blacker. Reflections of despair, of wailing souls, of shackles colder and more immutable than any forged by man, of a world of thirsts that can never be quenched. Alexander feels the mirror tremble in his grasp, and is glad that he cannot see its face. But the Lord of the Dead is transfixed to the mirror, to the screening of his life. Things long forgotten are once more uncovered. His enslavement to this throne while still a man, the years of watching misery and horror and growing ever more numb to it, the seep of his own humanity, the slow growth of a new thing altogether which became that which he is now. His is an existence that has no possibility of redemption, no end. The surrounding spirits draw away in pain. The truth is so sharp it stabs, so intense it sears.
Take it away. Make it stop.
The mirror of truth cracks from the strain, and death sheds a single gray tear.
Truth is indeed a terrible thing. I have worn this mantle for so long, I had forgotten its dreadful weight. You shall take the souls and leave as I agreed. You have been granted to stay from this inevitable reality. I almost envy you. Find the souls he has claimed, and bring them to me. King Calaphim and Queen Alaria, I presume. Your hero has won you a few more years of mortality. May your souls be more prepared for their rest when you return.
Thank you, my lord. I hope that they will.
And you, man of flesh, my steed shall take the three of you back to the land of the living. Tell her where it is you wish to go. Until we meet again, then, I assure you, we will meet again.
No offense, my lord, but I hope that will be many long years from now.
It is never as long as you might wish, mortal. Now, begone.
Yes, my lord.
It just feels like such an accomplishment, that sequence. Like, I know you only do like 2 things. You need the gauntlet and the mirror, but like, what a momentous moment that would be.
Alhazred's treachery must be handled carefully, Alexander. Alari and I must go gather our allies and form a plan. Watch over Cassima. Make sure she comes to no harm. We will return as soon as we can to take back all that has been stolen from us.
I will keep her safe until your return.
Thank you, son. Your love for our daughter must be deep indeed for you to have undertaken death itself for our sakes.
Indeed. May we succeed in what awaits us, and live long together as a family.
Does Cassima get any say in any of this? Like, the parents are already on board. Yeah, no, right? Like, how many mortals would ever be able to pull off what Alexander just did? Like, it's such an amazing sequence. And if you take the shortcut, right, you miss all of that. You miss so much. All right. As much as I'm loving this, this is bringing back all the good memories. It is time for me to go. So I am going to stop for the night, but it was lovely to have someone to play this with and talk about it. I so enjoy this game, so thank you so much for hanging out with me for a while there, Clef. And for anyone else who popped in, it was lovely to see you, and I hope you all have a wonderful Monday night. Have a good one now. Let me see if I can... My keyboard shut off. Let me see if I can find... There it is. All right. Found my hotkey. Have a good one.
Taking off your adventurer's cap so soon?